As far as teams that are 500 under a lot of pressure, the Phoenix Suns got to be right near the top of the list. Suns right now 26-26, as you well know. By virtue of Golden State and Sacramento winning games, the Suns are right now 11th in the Western Conference. If the season ended right now, Wolf, the Phoenix Suns wouldn't even make the play-in tournament.
Man.
If you think the criticism has been loud up to this point, imagine if they actually didn't make the play-in tournament.
Think of their talent, and then think of what Luke just said. I mean, honestly, and I know Bradley Beal's been hurt up and down. I know KD's been hurt. I understand that. But when you think of how this season started and you think of the talent that is in the locker room for the Phoenix Suns, and then you say if the playoffs started today, they wouldn't be in the play-in.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be out. How stunning is that?
Yeah, and, if you want to make it even more, it's not impossible, obviously. They're only 3 games out of the 6th spot. I mean, they could be in a playoff spot.
But they're not.
But they're not.
In
not.
that spot today.
No, and, I will say they've started to drop where they're 6.5 out of the 5th spot. Like, we're kind of to the point now where you can go ahead and rule out a top 5 spot. Now, you really just need a top 6 spot, and number 6 is the Clippers, and they've had success against the Clippers this year, and they're only 3 games back. But the problem, as you sit here and you say, okay, well, the Suns are in 11th. Well, there's some teams that are easy for them to pass, right? Who? You tell me I'll read off the 10 teams in front of them, and you tell me who you think is bad that's just going to suddenly free fall. Oklahoma City? No. Memphis, Denver, the Lakers. Lakers just got Luka. They're not dropping. There's your top 4. Houston, I know that they're a surprise to some people, but they're not going to drop out. The Clippers, maybe, but they're pretty steady. The Timberwolves, no. Dallas, maybe. I didn't even think of that.
I don't think that's going to happen. Seriously. I think they're going to win games on the defensive end of the floor.
So there you go then. Sacramento maybe could. Golden State, I don't think it's going to drop off. They just got better. There's not like a free path for the Suns. Obviously this team's going to free fall and we're just going to slide back into a spot. And that's just to get in the play-in, let alone the actual playoffs. So Brian Windhorst had a story up talking about the teams facing the most pressure in the NBA after the trade deadline. And you pulled a few of his quotes, Wolf. I'll read this one. Quote, "The Suns' actions indicate they know they're in trouble and they're examining how to dig themselves out. They needed to and did explore trading Durant, even though it upset him, and they needed to offload salary to get some future flexibility. And they moved in this direction, trading Nurkic with a first-round pick on deadline day, saving $130 million in salary and taxes this year and next. There will likely be more unsavory medicine to ingest this summer when Durant's future with the franchise comes back into question. How the Suns handle it and how they execute a possible Durant trade is vital to their future," unquote.
Yeah. Yeah, it is vital to their future right now. The pressure that is coming down on the Phoenix Suns for not doing anything big at the deadline, of course, we all knew that was coming. Mm-hmm. We all knew that was coming. When you've got a team that is underachieving, and we know the Phoenix Suns have underachieved their talent level. They have underachieved that. You knew this was coming right now. If you were not going to be able to pull off a big trade, you knew that you would be criticized. And they weren't able to do it, and largely because KD, I believe, nixed the deal to the Golden State Warriors, which is his right to do. Listen, if they're going to leak it out there, and that's certainly what happened, you know what? He has the right to say how he feels. He wanted to be here. He wanted to stay here and see if he could not right the ship. At least that's what KD says now, which is really, really interesting. Why I cannot wait to see tonight how he plays and everyone else around him as well. Because it's not just about KD. It's also about Book, obviously. Mm-hmm. But those two guys specifically, how do your teammates rally around that? We understand you're going to attack our guys. You're going to attack KD. You're going to attack Book. You're going to attack this team. You know what? What do you say we go out with a new vision and a new intensity level, and we go out and we compete because you know what? We're better than this. honestly, is this not a point of demarcation right now?
Oh, yeah.
For the last 30 games for the Phoenix Suns, I see it tonight starting. This is a point of demarcation. We're going to change it. And if you don't believe us, watch this.
Especially because they didn't make a bunch of trades they didn't do anything really significant. So, yes, that is part of the frustration. But the other part is like, this is the team that has been maligned nationally. It's these guys. It's not like, well, yeah, as collectively as an organization, we've really been under the microscope this season. Here's 4 new players in our starting lineup. Like, no, here's the guys who started the last game: Royce O'Neal, Ryan Dunn, Nick Richards, Tyus Jones, Devin Booker. They've all been here all season except Nick Richards, and he's been here for a little while now. Go ahead and throw Durant in there, and this is your team. You've been hearing the criticisms all season collectively, and I so hope that you're. I don't want to say right.
What does that do to you?
You would think it would rally them. Wolf.
If you had a buddy inside the locker room that you liked and you respected, and all of a sudden people were attacking him.
Yeah.
What would you want to do?
The whole basketball world, not like 2 people at work
right.
either. Yeah.
What would you want to do? You'd want to go out and defend him. I know what that's like. Literally going out in between the white lines and saying, "Oh, no, you're not going to do that to my dude," without any type of in your face. We might come after you and hunt you down on a football field and knock your face mask off. You're going to do that to our guy? You have a natural instinct to rally around your teammates, especially when you like them and respect them.
Yeah, that does take it to a different
level. So
it's
going to be really interesting to see. Again, where's the energy level tonight? Where is it?
I was putting together my email for the show last night, and one of the things that jumped out to me, I was watching just NBA highlights, and it's like the Suns have 2 guys that were on Team USA and played huge roles in Kevin Durant and Devin Booker on Team USA, not like in the 90s, a couple months ago when they won the gold. Like that documentary that's coming out, I think it's on Netflix. It looks pretty good. 2 of the players on the team, and it's not a big team, were Suns. This was the team Jimmy Butler wanted to come to. He ended up on Golden State, but he wanted to come here. This team has Kevin Durant, who Golden State wanted. They wanted Durant. They got you. Like, there's all this stuff about this team. You've got Olympians from just this past summer that won gold. You've got your destination. You've got Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Start acting like it. Like, seriously, what are we doing?
Start acting like it.
Like, wake up. Go be the Suns. You should be a playoff team. You should at least be a top 6 team in the Western Conference. Just go start beating some of these teams.
It's going to take a collective effort, though.
Yeah.
Once again. And that's why I'm fascinated with what I'm seeing in Dallas. And I continue to talk about it. AD, they've played 3 games since the trade deadline. 3. AD's played in a half. One half of those 3, which is, you were saying this earlier. Can you imagine?
The 2 ends of the spectrum.
We're going to talk about Luka being 270 when this guy is once again hurt. But watch how they've responded. Without AD, they beat the Celtics in Boston, all right? And then, of course, they beat Houston the next game. 2 pretty good teams right there. Now, they lost last night to the Kings, the Sacramento Kings. But watch the intensity level in which they're playing without AD. Why is that?
Did you see the Mavericks fans? Did I already ask you this?
Yeah.
That were chanting, he's
I
not
know.
Fat, bring him back. Like, that's such a sad
I did not see that.
Yeah, they were all, I think it was
he's
outside
not fat, bring him back. Oh, my goodness. That's good.
Like, such a broken fan base. I do almost feel bad for them, except I remember how they acted after they took the Suns out. But, man, you want to talk about never feeling like you can be comfortable being a fan of a team again?
Yeah.
Like, if you were a Mavericks fan, you thought Luka was going to be there for at least the next 10 to 12 years, and all of a sudden one day he's just on the Lakers.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.